I'm Lin. My master is a true spiritual practitioner. In the last video, we did a quick introduction to natural magic. Today we're diving into elemental magic. This is one of the core laws of natural magic, the very foundation of how everything works. In fact, the Creator used this kind of magic to shape our universe, along with 23 other universes just like ours, which I'll talk about in future videos. You've probably heard of the ancient Chinese 5 elements theory: metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, or maybe the 4 classical elements from ancient Greek culture and alchemy: air, earth, water, and fire. These ideas were not just made up. Ancient people actually learned them from the angels Harut and Marut, and they didn't just keep the occult knowledge to themselves, they used it to develop healing practices. How lucky they were! Bless the angels, for they made great efforts to bring comfort and well-being to humanity. Actually, neither ancient China nor ancient Greece was wrong. They just missed 1 or 2 elements. In reality, the fundamental elements consist of 6: metal, wind, water, wood, fire, and earth. These elements follow 2 key principles: creation and destruction. Elements support and strengthen each other, meanwhile they restrain or weaken one another. The destruction cycle is quite complex, so I won't go into details here. I'll talk about that in a future video when we dive into the topic fundamentals of magic. But the creation cycle? That's much easier to understand. For example, metal creates wind. You might have heard of the Chinese 5 elements theory, which says metal generates water. That's why in fengshui, when people design their houses, they often place 5 emperor coins near the entrance or around their doors with the wish to increase wealth. Let me explain the concept of the 5 emperor coins. These are ancient Chinese copper coins from the reigns of 5 different emperors, each carrying a unique energy from its era. By the way, copper is associated with the planet Venus, which represents good luck, happy marriage, and complete love. In feng shui, people believe that these coins absorb the powerful energy of past emperors, making them a young or energetic object that attracts wealth. But this is actually a misunderstanding. Let me break it down for you with an example of the transformation cycle of elements. At the core of the earth, we have iron. Because of iron, we have a magnetic field. Thanks to this magnetic field, our atmosphere isn't blown away by solar storms. Once the atmosphere formed, it created a greenhouse effect, allowing water to rise into clouds and fall back as rain, nourishing the trees. The trees, in extreme heat, can naturally ignite and turn into charcoal, which becomes earth. Over time, the earth, under the influence of celestial bodies, nurtures metals and precious gemstones within itself. This is the simplest creation cycle, the transformation of elements in nature. Metal generates wind, wind brings water, water nourishes wood, wood fuels fire, fire turns into earth, and earth gives birth to metal again. Of course, this is just a simple explanation of elemental magic as it was originally created. In reality, it goes far beyond what we can imagine. Back to the main point. This is what I meant by metal generates wind, wind brings water, water nourishes wood, wood fuels fire, fire turns into earth, and earth gives birth to metal again. Interestingly, in ancient Chinese culture, during the time of the Yellow Emperor, a spiritual practitioner named Qi Bo actually mentioned the wind element, but for some reason it was never officially recorded in later texts. Why? I have no idea. Maybe powerful people in later generations altered the records. Now, here's something fascinating. These elemental energies don't just exist in nature, they're also within us. Our spiritual energy is made up of these 6 elements in different proportions. Some people have 2 of these elemental energies, some have 5, and those who possess all 6, they are usually spiritual practitioners. Elemental magic is a process of absorbing external and internal elemental energy, converting it into spiritual power, and then extracting one or more elemental energies to release them outward. For example, if I absorb the water energy from moisture in the air, which also includes wind energy, I can transform them into my own spiritual energy. Then, by spiritually separating these elements within my spiritual power and directing them outward with focused intent, I can make them combine again, allowing me to create frost on the surface or even in mid-air. If you are interested in magic, alchemy, yin-yang practices, fengshui, or mysticism, follow me. I'll share with you some of the occult wisdom I've learned. I'm Ling. I'm a successor of the Kunlun esoteric sect and a spiritual practitioner uncovering the hidden wisdom known only to the select few.